Good evening, I'm Mark Beaumont. Tonight we're investigating the suspected arson at a Montreal used car dealership and unpacking Quebec's new cost of living relief measures, all as a clear 19-degree night settles over the city. Emma, what's your take? Jeff, I know you've got thoughts on the budget overspend. Just a quick reminder, gmna presenters' speech and some images are AI generated. Content may contain errors, verify important information.
So the city's rolling out 7 new pedestrian-only streets this summer, adding a fresh zone on Rue Villeray. Imagine downtown strolling without traffic.
It's a bold move, especially after last year's congestion spikes. Pedestrian corridors boost local cafes, cyclists, and give families safe summer evenings.
Absolutely, and the city promises enhanced lighting and street art installations. I can already picture musicians setting up on Rue St. Laurent as the sun sets.
All right, let's get into it. The full rollout plan, timelines for each boulevard, and how residents can provide input during the upcoming public forums. Good evening, Montreal. Tonight we bring you the stories shaping our city, from the downtown transit upgrades to the new community garden blooming in the Plateau H. Montreal Police Arson Unit is investigating a fire that was deliberately set at a local used car dealership on Monday. The blaze erupted early in the afternoon, sending thick black smoke over the commercial strip and damaging several vehicles on the lot. Responders arrived within minutes after reports of flames, and investigators quickly determined the fire was not accidental. Police say they are treating the incident as suspected arson and are searching for one or more individuals responsible. The motive remains unknown, but authorities stress the seriousness of deliberately targeting a business and endangering public safety. Anyone with information is urged to contact the police. The investigation is ongoing, and the department will release further details as they become available. The damaged inventory will require extensive repairs, and the business will remain closed until investigators finish their work.
Gunshots rang out on a city street in the Ville-Marie borough of downtown Montreal late Sunday night, May 24, 2026. Montreal police responded swiftly, securing the area and launching an investigation. Officers established a visible presence in the central business district while canvassing for witnesses and gathering evidence. The cause of the gunfire remains unknown, and police are actively seeking any individuals who may have been involved. Residents were advised to avoid the immediate vicinity as investigators work to piece together what transpired. The department confirmed that no injuries have been reported at this time, but the situation continues to be monitored closely. Authorities urge anyone with information to come forward, emphasizing the importance of community cooperation in resolving the case. The incident has heightened concerns about public safety in the bustling downtown area, prompting city officials to review security measures.
The Quebec government rolled out a new set of cost of living relief measures on Monday, May 25, 2026. Residents of Montreal and across the province will see tax exemptions on a list of everyday products, ranging from groceries to household essentials. In addition, the province will issue direct checks to households that meet eligibility criteria, aiming to put cash directly into families' hands as prices continue to climb. Officials say the package is designed to soften the impact of recent inflation pressures that have strained budgets. The tax breaks target items that have shown the sharpest price gains, while the check program focuses on lower-income families most affected by the rise in consumer costs. Quebec's approach reflects a broader provincial strategy to keep the cost of daily living within reach for its citizens.
Premier Christine Frechette warned Saturday, May 23, 2026, that Quebec could breach its $250 million spending envelope as the government adds new promises to its agenda. The premier said the list of announced projects and programs is growing faster than the original budget allowed, raising the risk of an overspend that would affect the province and especially Montreal. Finance Minister, also the premier, had earlier cautioned about tight fiscal constraints, and today the two officials underscored the need for careful monitoring. While no specific figure beyond the $250 million cap was disclosed, analysts say any breach could force the province to reconsider funding priorities or seek additional revenue. Residents can expect more detailed updates as the government reviews its financial plan in the coming weeks. Community groups worry that delays in projects could strain local services and employment opportunities.
7 of Montreal's most beloved streets are set to close to vehicle traffic this summer, giving pedestrians and cyclists the full enjoyment of the city's vibrant sidewalks. The city announced the plan on May 25, with Transport Minister Karine Martinez-Ferrada confirming the return of most summer pedestrian streets and the addition of a brand new zone on Rue Villeray. The initiative, which has become an annual summer tradition, will see streets like St. Denis, among others, transformed into car-free corridors, while Castelnau remains open to traffic. Officials say the closures aim to encourage walking and cycling during the warm months, fostering a healthier, more connected community. Residents can look forward to quieter streets, pop-up cafes, and safer routes as Montreal embraces its seasonal pedestrian network. City planners hope the temporary changes will inspire long-term improvements to urban mobility and public space. Later we'll hear how a Milan sidewalk collapse left several people on the ground, plus more on today's headlines. We will be right back. Welcome back. I'm glad you stayed with us. Now let's turn to Emma Leclerc for the local stories shaping our community tonight.
Good evening. I'm Emma Leclerc. A large hole in a sidewalk on St. Lawrence Street in the Milan area caused several residents to take a tumble early on May 22nd. The opening appeared after construction crews left the site without temporary protection, and pedestrians slipped into the gap before workers could block it. The City of Montreal and the Plateau Mont-Royal Borough say they are investigating why the safety barrier was not installed during the ongoing works. Neighbors have voiced frustration, saying the lack of proper signage and a quick fix left them vulnerable on a busy street. Officials assure the repair team will fill the hole and restore the walkway by the end of the week, and they promise tighter oversight on future projects to keep our sidewalks safe for families, commuters, and cyclists alike.
Montreal's transport officials have issued a safety advisory for the Victoria Bridge, asking commuters and event staff to keep an eye on the historic span throughout the Formula One Grand Prix weekend. The advisory, released on May 22nd, stresses that the bridge will see heightened traffic as fans pour in for races from May 23rd to May 25th. Authorities say regular inspections will be conducted, and any unusual vibrations or movement should be reported immediately. For locals who use the bridge on their daily commute or to reach downtown restaurants after a race, the reminder means a bit of extra vigilance, but no closures are expected. Pedestrians crossing on foot or cyclists heading to the Latching Canal Trail are also encouraged to stay alert and follow any posted signage. The city hopes the extra monitoring will ensure the structure remains safe while Montreal welcomes the world's fastest drivers.
Mount Royal Park is celebrating 150 years this week, with a series of free activities that invite Montrealers to enjoy the green space they call the city's lungs. On May 24, 2026, the City of Montreal and the Mont Royal Park Authority opened a day-long program that includes guided nature walks, a historic photo exhibition, and a family-friendly picnic area near the Chalet du Mont Royal. Local runners can join a sunrise jog along the iconic Conderonk Trail, while school groups will hear stories about the park's opening in 1876. Organizers also unveiled a commemorative plaque at the summit, honoring the vision of the original planners. Residents are encouraged to bring reusable bottles and take advantage of the new bike share stations set up for the celebration, reinforcing the park's role as a daily gathering place.
The recent filing reveals that Group Prime Drink has taken a $26 million hit after the bankruptcy of its partner Triani. The loss directly hits the company's manufacturing site in Terrebonne, just north of Montreal, where the plant churns out the popular Glutenberg and Oschleg beverages. For many neighborhood families, those drinks are a familiar sight in local grocery aisles, and the news raises concerns about potential job stability for the roughly 100-plus workers on the line. Olivier Primo, CEO of Prime Drink, confirmed the shortfall stems from Triani's insolvency and said the company is reviewing its options to protect the workforce. The facility was recently sold to a real estate investor, adding another layer of uncertainty for employees and suppliers who rely on the plant's steady output. Montreal commuters who pass the site each morning now wonder how the slowdown might echo through local traffic and commerce. Now let's take a quick look at tonight's forecast and see what the sky has in store.
Right now, Montreal sits under a clear sky with a temperature of 19 degrees, feeling like 18. Humidity hovers around 77%, and a gentle breeze from the southwest pushes at 15 kilometers per hour. As we move into the evening, the temperature will dip to 18 degrees by 7 o'clock, still clear and calm. The sun will linger, setting at 8:28, giving us a late summer glow. Expect the night to cool further, with lows reaching 11 degrees before sunrise. A modest amount of rain, about 13.6 millimeters, is forecast later through the night, so you might want to keep an umbrella handy. The clear sky will also reveal early stars as darkness settles, perfect for a brief stroll. Even though the rain arrives later, the early part of the night remains dry and pleasant as you finish your day. That wraps up tonight's picture as we turn to the 5-day outlook. Looking ahead, the week settles into a cooler rhythm after today's warmth. Tuesday brings an overcast sky with a high of 26 degrees and a low of 13, so expect a mild start to the evening. Wednesday stays in the mid-20s, reaching 24 at its peak, but light drizzle will dot the afternoon and keep the air fresh, while lows hold steady at 13. Thursday turns cooler, with a high of 18 and a low of 12, and the drizzle continues in a gentle mist that may linger into the night. Friday marks the coldest spell, dropping to a high of 14 and a low of 8, and rain showers become more pronounced, offering a 40% chance of precipitation by evening. The weekend looks set for a crisp finish, so you might want to keep a light jacket handy as you plan your Saturday outings.
We'll break down today's traffic snarls, preview the soiree at Bal Interdit, and hear the Chamber spotlight on Parquet Cafe. We will be right back.
The biggest holdup right now is a major collision at the SAQ on St. Jacques-Ouest. Police have blocked the street, and traffic is backed up for several blocks, so expect a slow crawl if you're heading east or west on St. Jacques. A second major issue is the closure of the Route 340 exit and its eastbound ramps to Autoroute 30. Drivers must use the alternate Route 342 access, adding up to 15 minutes of extra travel. Moderate delays continue on both the Jacques Cartier and Samuel de Champlain bridges, with queues building at the toll plazas. Construction is also biting into flow. The eastbound lane of Route 136 through the Ville-Marie and VJ tunnels is shut, and a lane on Autoroute 25 at the Onzhoo interchange is narrowed. All other roads are moving freely. No transit disruptions have been reported this afternoon.
Tonight the Canadiens host the Hurricanes in Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Finals at the Bell Centre, with 21,000 fans expected to feel every heartbeat. A win could put Montreal one step closer to hoisting the cup and give the city a night to remember. Across town, K-pop sensation IVE lands at the Bell Centre for their Show What I Am World Tour, drawing an estimated 18,000 fans ready for a high-energy spectacle. If you're looking for a late-night party, the Fever Fate X Montreal pop-up at Suite 662 on 92nd Avenue turns the street into a DJ-driven dance floor until sunrise. For a taste of culture, El Africain Lumiere opens at the Hotel Montreal Metropolitan, showcasing African music, art, and cuisine in a single evening. And don't forget Oshiahga kicks off this Friday on Parc Jean Drapeau, promising 3 days of world-class music that will define this.
The Canadiens kept the Eastern Conference final alive, edging Tampa Bay Lightning 2-1 on May 3rd and grabbing a 1-0 series lead. That win puts Montreal in a position to dictate the tempo as they head into Game 3 against Carolina Hurricanes tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern. A win tonight would push the series to a 2-0 lead. Switching to the women's game, the Victoire captured the inaugural PWHL Walter Cup with a 4-0 shutout of Ottawa Charge on May 20th. The championship caps a flawless postseason run, and the squad now waits for next season's schedule, already a benchmark for the league. The cup also secures a spot in next summer's showcase. In the MLS corner, CF Montreal stumbled 2-0 to Chicago Fire on May 16th. The loss drops them out of the playoff picture, but the club will look to rebound when they host Vancouver FC on July 9th. That's the latest from Montreal's teams in season.
Parquet Cafe and Nightclub, nestled in Myland, has long been a vibrant hub where coffee, live music, and drag performances blend into a safe haven for Montreal's queer community. This week the venue faces a looming shutdown after the city raised concerns over its alcohol permit, prompting a wave of petitions and street-level rallies. Owners and regulars alike are gathering signatures, reminding officials that Parquet is more than a bar. It's a cultural incubator that nurtures local artists and offers a welcoming space for anyone seeking belonging. In a city built on diversity, keeping Parquet's doors open means preserving the spirit that makes Montreal unique. The campaign has drawn support from local boutiques and artists who see Parquet as the heartbeat of Myland's pulse. And later we'll celebrate Mount Royal Park's 150-year anniversary, a reminder of Montreal's rich heritage and bright future together. In the heart of the Plateau H. Mont Royal, the hallway of École St. Laurent hums with the rustle of crayons and curious voices. A class of first-grade students has turned the room into a gallery of hope. Little hands, still learning letters, carefully drew the wagging tails and gentle eyes of sheltered dogs and cats, then paired each picture with a short story about why that animal deserves a home. The project, shared on the school's Instagram, shows a rainbow of pastel fur and bright collars, each piece framed on a repurposed bulletin board. One child, Maya, explained that her drawing of a rescued Labrador reminded her of the kindness her family showed when they adopted a rescued pup last winter. Parents and neighbors paused in hallway, reading the captions and signing up to volunteer at the nearby animal shelter. When the bell rang, the walls were lined with more than 100 hopeful faces, and the community felt a shared sense of purpose, proving that even the smallest sketches can spark big compassion. It's a reminder that kindness begins in quiet corners of our city, where children learn to love and protect the world around them.
The new mural, titled Precious Bonds, now stretches along the main hallway of the Montreal Children's Hospital in Côte des Neiges, a place that sees countless families each day. More than 200 community members, children in recovery, their parents, physicians, and local artists came together over several weeks, each adding a hand-painted tile or a brushstroke of color. You can see a snowman peeking out from a swirl of blue, a cluster of butterflies that seem to flutter across the wall, and a teddy bear tucked beside a bright sun, all stitched together with vivid reds and greens that catch the eye even on a rainy afternoon. One mother, who helped paint the bear, told us she felt the mural like a hug that never ends, a feeling echoed by a young patient who pointed to the butterflies and whispered that they reminded her of wings to keep flying. The moment the ribbon was cut, the corridor filled with quiet applause, and the hallway instantly felt less like a hospital and more like a shared canvas of hope. It's a reminder that every step through those doors is supported by a community that cares.
Thank you, Montreal, for joining us this evening. It was unsettling to hear about the suspected arson at the local used car dealership, and I hope the community stays safe. I'm Mark Beaumont, and I look forward to bringing you more stories at tomorrow's local sunset. See you then.